Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching in the world. Thank you very much for joining us here at vrroom.org for the finale of the GT300 Trophy League. This race was run last Sunday, and it's taken me a little while to get up, but here we are with it anyway. Just going to give you some circuit information. We are running at Nürburgring Nordschleife in Nürburgring, Germany. It's 70 kilometres south of Cologne. The major events that this circuit hosts are the FIA F1, the World Superbike, and the DTM 24-hour race. The bigger Nordschleife circuit, the 14-kilometre circuit or the 16-kilometre circuit at the side, reputedly named by Jackie Stewart as the Green Hell, is widely considered to be the most demanding race circuit in the world, and we're running at it, or on the side of it anyway. The circuit length here is 2.26 miles, the straight length is 0.39 miles, so it's not that long. Elevation difference of 108.9 feet, and it's 12 corners. This track was built in 1984 as well, so a lot of history here and a lot of good racing. You're about to see a good one here as well. The current champion was won. The title here for the GT300 was decided. It's won by Scalebreaker on 131 points, so congratulations to Scale, the GT300 champion. Stuntman is confirmed in second place with 100 points. So the fight here, literally, is between three contenders. It's Lockie, DM and Ginobili. We've got Lockie entering this race on 81, DM on 69, so that's a slight, that is a 12 point difference, sorry, and Ginobili is just out of it with 62 points. So it's going to be very, very tough for Ginobili. I don't think Ginobili actually can get into third place, so it's between DM and Lockie, so it's going to be an interesting one to see how this pans out. I'm Dave Higgins. If you haven't viewed my YouTube channel before, if you please subscribe to it. At the top of your computer screen, you should see a little subscribe button. That will be greatly appreciated. And get down to vrroom.org to join in all this good action that you're going to see. So, I'll press start on the race. I'll say it as I see it. A full grid here, 12 cars. We've got qualification, Scale, Jordan and DM setting off. I missed the qualification there, I apologise. But the top three cars anyway is Scale, DM and Jordan. So we'll go on board with Scalebreaker here. We have 10-minute qualifying session, of course, before all the races. And oh my word, it's tight into the first corner already. All the protagonists getting round in one piece, which is really good actually. Well played everyone there. It's nice and clean, no damage from anyone. The field's all bunched up. So it's Scale from Jordan, from DM, from Raced, from Lockie, from Ginobili, from Stuntman, Badger, N10's just swapped places with JB, Resus and Rick GT5 bringing up the back there. Now Scalebreaker's been very dominant all season in the slightly slower Lexus mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. Jordan is on him though here. Jordan in the paddock lovingly and affectionately calling Mr. Scalebreaker the robot. For the lack of mistakes he makes and the clinical precision at which he drives, so that's what's earned him the championship. I always say consistency wins championships, which it clearly does here for Mr. Breaker. But he, you know, he's not here to lose. He's still flashing his lights. Look, the guy's crazy. Still flashing his lights, and there's no one to flash them to. He absolutely loves it. He just goes into this mode in the car there. Now Jordan's very close behind. But he's not going to have a stab into the first corner, so on lap 1 of 11 here at the Nürburgring, we've got Scale from Jordan, from VRDM. Now Scale and Jordan are pulling out a gap here from VRDM, who's under a lot of pressure from race 42. We'll go onto the back of DM's car for that one. Oh, sorry guys, onto the back of DM's car. Race 42 has switched cars here from the last round, which you're allowed to do at vrroom.org. We've got, he's running the RX-7, a Mini RX-7, and it's him and Lockie going for it. We've got to see that from the outside shot. Surely he's got the inside line. DM will have to let that one go, although DM's holding a nice line round the outside. And oh my word, actually DM's held that. It's been nudged slightly off circuit, but because of that, look, he has lost that place ultimately to race. And to Lockie. Lockie's going down the inside. DM got nowhere to go. So DM, if he can hold this line, will be on the inside for the next corners, but that's leaving him vulnerable to a cutback from Lockie, which Lockie has not done. Lockie is very close though, if we can just get onto the back of DM's car. Lockie with the lights blazing. Just behind Lockie we've got Badger and Genobi. Genobi here as well, just like Race, running that Armenia RX-7 front engine rear wheel drive setup. Reputedly one of the best cars in the GT300 League, but so is the MR2 to be fair, we've discovered at Team Rosso Racing. So watching them now as they're coming down the main straight. DM is looking like he may have a bit of a stab here, and he's going down the inside of Race 42, and oh my word, he's had a big smack up the backside from Lockie. Lockie didn't kind of see that unfolding in front of him, I think. So DM has picked up damage from that. We'll just check Lockie's car out, and yeah, Lockie has got a big front damage from that one, so that's going to be difficult to hold on, and already you can see he's drifting a little bit wide. So an unfortunate incident there between Lockie and DM. Towards the back of the pack then, if we go on board with, in fact, Genobi is going to be overtaken by the looks of it by JB Player 1, who's on the inside. So Team Rosso Racing going through into 7th place. So we've got Rosso Racing in 4th, 6th and 7th. So a good show here from that team, running the new MR2. Of course, they were in the Artegaria car, the Autobax Artegaria car for the majority of this season. Bit of a duff choice, to be honest with you. A little bit further back in the field now, we're looking at Stuntman in the Wedsport Toyota Celica. Now he's picked up damage as well. He must have had a bit of a knock somewhere. It's quite a tight circuit here, so probably a little bit of rubbing has caused that damage. Stuntman dropped off form a little bit towards the end of the season. He's actually won some races this year, and he's managed to get himself into 2nd place, which is a sterling job. Very, very impressive drive, but towards this back end of the season, he just seemed to have just faded away a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's because he's sticking with the Celica, because he's raced that all year, I believe, or all season, should I say. So I'm not really sure what's gone off there. I'll have to message him in the VR Room forum, have a little chat to him in the paddock, and find out what the issues were at the back end of this season. N10, Rhesus and Rick GT5 following up at the back. So it looks like the Wedsport Celicas are not the car to select here. I found that earlier on in the season as well, where the Arta car that we were running, looking at clipping to the front again for the ding dong between Scale and Jordan, quite exciting. I found that that certain cars match certain circuits. For instance, at Spa earlier on for round 3, I think it was, that the Arta car that we were running in Rosso Racing anyway was quite fast there. But then when we go to somewhere like this, we just weren't on form at all. So certain cars do suit certain circuits. Now, as we're looking here, the leaders, Scale and Jordan, there's no love lost between these two, but they're racing very, very, very cleanly together. This is why we're here. This is what we do. If you're watching it for the first time, get down to vrroom.org and you can be part of close, competitive, fair racing like this. All the rooms are fully marshalled, of course. You'll find out more if you visit the site. We have got Lockie. Yeah, unfortunately, we'll just click to him back of the circuit there. Lockie has pulled up, so he's out of the equation. Too much damage on that car. He's thought, well, you know what, I'm going to give that one up for whatever reason, so it's a great shame for Jordan. We'll click back to the action with VR Raced in the RX-7. A lot of curb there as we going round on lap 4 of 11 to start the 5th lap here. No incidents, no yellow flags here, which is good. Of course, they can be called because all the rooms are fully marshalled, like I mentioned before. So somebody's always watching his race, always making those decisions, fair decisions and right decisions. So he's pulling out a little bit of a gap there. Now the closest battle so far is these three. We've got DM with his crippled car, his teammate Badger giving him a lot of pressure. Now I'm not sure which one's on the outside or the inside. I think DM's on the inside. Badger's going for the cutback. Badger probably he's at a disadvantage now because he's on the outside for the left hand corner. But he's making it stick round the outside. DM giving him plenty of room there. You could see Lockie's stricken car in the background. And again, DM still holding the inside line. Now, if Badger can stay on the outside, he's got the inside line for the next circuit, for the next corner. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Quite a lot of rear damage going off there on DM's car. It must be wiggling all over the place for him. He's going to be very lucky to stay ahead of Badger, Genobi and JB as well, running through the field. We'll just look at JB. JB is catching up. He should be able to see. Oh, a mistake actually, and Stuntman's gone through. So we're on board now with JB player on the inside. We've got Rhesus giving him some stick there. So it was a big mistake though. I don't know whether he had a tap from VR Stuntman. I can't review the footage here unfortunately, because when I've tried beforehand when I was reviewing this, when I rewind, it literally rewinds the entire lap. So I hope they fix that for Gran Turismo 6. Now in the meantime, Badger has got DM on the back of Badger's car there. Ginobbi's through as well, so DM, as feared, has dropped down to 6. He's got VR Stuntman closing in on the back of him as well. So looking at Badger, that's a good show from Badger. Now he's after raced. Can he catch up? He's got, we're on lap 6 of 11, so he's got 5 laps to catch up to race 42. Whether that'll be possible or not is another story. So on the back of Badger's car, let's just have a look, because we've got Ginobbi quite close there. There's still a big ding-dong happening at the front from Scale and Jordan though, so that'll be interesting to clip to in a moment. Wide there from Badger, very, very wide as he goes round there, and again you can see Lockie Strickler car in the background there. I've lost what I was going to talk about there. Yeah, let's just think about the actual third position now, because Lockie is out of the equation now. He's on 81 points, so DM was on 69, and current position where DM is, DM's not going to take that. For 6th place, let me think how many points you take for 6th place. You get 15, 12, 10, it's 9, 8, 7. I think he's going to get 7 points for that, which won't close that gap to 81. That'll put him on 75 if my maths is right. Just quickly looking down at my sheet there. Oh, and Ginobbi pinging one out on Badger. Let's see if they can hold this. We're down the back straight, very quick section, this downhill to the uphill left-right flick. Now Badger's got the inside line, surely Badger will make that stick. There's no way Ginobbi's going to get through there, not at that distance now. So well done, the guys have backed out of it. Ginobbi's still trying though. Now this final corner that we're watching the cars come round here, very, very difficult. I always find it very difficult. It's totally flat, there's no camber, the car just wants to drift wide, and it's always difficult to figure out where the apex is on that one. So it's all about exit speed really. If you don't clip the apex, you're going to get a poor exit speed. And of course the straight's not that long. We mentioned before it's only 0.39 of a mile long. And he's going defensive again, so Badger and Ginobbi having a big ding-dong here. But keeping it clean and competitive, which is good to see. And also, clicking it to the background, DM is under a hell of a lot of pressure here from Stuntman. We'll stay on Stuntman's car in the Wed Sport Celica. Now, they're both crippled. We've got front offside damage on Stuntman's car and rear near side damage on DM's car. So 2 cars that are damaged. The guy's obviously feeling it's good enough to stay out and race with, because otherwise they would pit, of course, to repair the car, which is an option, but of course you're just going to lose out on track position, and if other people pit it's worth doing, but if not you might as well stay out unless it's that bad that you can't race. Your other alternative, of course, is to do what Lockie's done and decide to pull the car up and just watch the race. But Lockie is secure now, I think, in 3rd place, and I think he probably knows that, which is good, unless something major happens. So meanwhile, back with the leaders again. Oh, we've got Scale and Jordan side by side yet again. So we've got Mr. 22 from Essex and the Robot. Don't know where he lives, but from the Robot. In fact, I don't think Jordan does live in Essex, if I'm honest with you. I think it's just a joke. I'm sure he's a Lancashire lad, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Jordan, you have to get in touch with me on the forum or on here, to be fair. So a lot of slipstreaming going off from Jordan and Scale. They'll have another dive down into the bottom corner. We've got Scale on the outside, Jordan on the inside. Jordan will win this. Oh, lock up from Scale. The back steps out. Oh, but look at that. Scale Breaker has got a wonderful cutback. Now he planned that. That was really good racing. A little bit of a rub from Jordan just to remind Scale that he's still there. I wonder if Jordan will be giving it any of the Scale Breaker flashing of lights. So let's just have a look. Let's go on the back of Scale's car. Very quiet engines on these Lexuses, you know, very, very quiet engines. We're on lap 8 of 11. Oh, and Scale and Jordan, I've just noticed, guys, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we have picked up damage. These cars are damaged, and it's obviously from all the rubbing and the close competitive stuff they're doing. They're just giving it their friendly bump kind of thing. Now, meantime, in the background, we can see here, VR Raced. I've left him out of the equation for quite a long time, but if I clip onto the back of Jordan's car, in fact, no, we'll stay on Scales because Jordan's going for yet another overtake here. We can see Mr. Race 42 in the background, VR Race closing in the Aminia RX-7 car. Now if we go on his roof cam, we can see the battling Lexuses up ahead. Now this is interesting because Jordan and Scale are slightly damaged as well. I think what we'll find here, ladies and gentlemen, is VR Race getting into the equation and catching up. We're on lap 8 of 11 here, so it'll be interesting to stick with that. He's got a big gap as well, but you can see he's closing visually. This is very exciting. We may see Race pinch one here. He's already in a podium position, but we may pinch one of these two guys in front or both of them. Whoa, very, very slidey for Mr. Race. You can see the opposite lock he was giving it there in the cockpit. Let's just have a look at fastest lap times, as is normal on these videos that I do. So you can see, just like I can on screen. In fact, no, it's slightly missing on your screen. I do apologise, but I'll read out the times. I'm not going to move the phone in case it falls over. I don't want that to happen. So we've got a 1:31.778 as the fastest lap, and that's from Jordan. So Jordan is on it. Jordan's the fastest guy out there. Currently on the live timings. As you can see, the race positions are currently Scale 1, Jordan 2, Raced, followed by Badger, followed by Genobi. Stuntman has nabbed DM and he's pulling away. JB Player 1 in the other Rosso Racing car in 8th, Resus, Rig GT5 and N10. We know that Lockie, of course, has pulled up. So I'm interested, can VR Raced catch these two guys here? Let me just get back up there. Can he catch Jordan and Scale, who are still hammer and tongs in it? You know, either one of these guys is going to win the race, and as these laps go, people are going to get more frustrated and start maybe doing a bit more of a dive on each other, but hopefully they'll keep it as clean as possible. They're obviously bumping each other, but that's part of motorsport, that's part of racing. And we are, of course, here at the home of online motorsport, which is vrroom.org. So please subscribe to the channel on the top if you're enjoying the race, and try to get in on the action by signing up for these events. This is the GT300 League, which has been scrapped for next month. It's been replaced by the 350Z Prohibited Tune. More information on that on the website, of course. Should be exciting racing. I believe there are 2 slots still available, so 2 places. The rest of the leagues for this month are full though, as normal, which is good to see. On Sunday, the Cappuccino League is running, as well as the 350Zs, and on Monday nights between 8 and 10, the new league is the Caterham 7 Fireblades, which should be good, fully marshalled rooms, as normal. During the week, of course, you can take part at vrroom.org in VR Heat events, and again, there'll be more explanation about that on the web. Free to join, so please do join us here. So, Scale and Jordan still going hammer and tongs. Is Badger and Genobi, how close are they to each other? Not a very good shot, but they are close. They're very, very close, and we may see Genobi here fighting and battling really hard for 4th place. And Badger under a lot of pressure here. I'm sure we can see Genobi plant one, and also Stuntman's in on the action there as well. Just wondering how far behind DM is, whether he's under any pressure. He's actually there in the screenshot. For example, if we go onto the back of Genobi's RX-7, you can see DM there, just behind Stuntman. So DM, although he's crippled, is still just trying to keep up in 6th place. On the outside shot here as we go down the straight. Oh, what a good shot. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely superb here. 3 different cars, all the same class of driver though. Flying down into the first corner near the Mercedes-Benz stand there. No change of pace though. Well, we're going to clip. We're on the last lap now, and I'll make sure I get in on the action. So we've got Scale and Jordan on the midsection going down towards the bottom hairpin. The big loop, of course, is missed out of this circuit. That's on the F circuit. That's the full Grand Prix circuit. And you'll see what I mean here. They're going to turn to the left here, missing out the loop. They don't do the downhill section, so it's a quick little shortcut, so the downhill uphill sections miss. We did run that earlier on in the year, of course, in the season, sorry, not in the year. So that was good stuff at that circuit. So who's going to take this? Who's going to take that final win? Scalebreaker, the current champion, is leading. Jordan is very, very close and tight behind. Let's just see what happens. They're on the downhill section now. Will one of them have a stab into the bottom hairpin corner? Jordan is having a stab. He's on the outside. Scale's got the inside crucially, and now Jordan's trying to break him around the outside. Jordan's outbraked himself, a big lock-up, and he's gone into all the barriers. Oh my goodness me. Now will Race get collected in that? No, Race has capitalised. I've just looked. So Race up into 2nd because he was very close. So across the line with the outbreak from Jordan, it's going to be Scalebreaker 1, VR Race 42 second. As they cross the line, Jordan's too far back to capitalise, so win for Scale, second for Jordan, third place for, second for VR Race, third for Jordan, second place for, fourth place for Badger, fifth for Genobi, sixth for Stuntman, seventh for DM, JB Player comes across the line, in 8th, 9th for Rhesus, Rick GT5 crossing the line very skillfully in 10th, and N10 following up the back in the Wed Sports Salika, and poor Unlucky has quit that one. So that's the top players. So what a fantastic season to commentate on, the GT300 League at vrroom.org. I'll just pause that one there for a moment whilst you're looking at Scale, Race 42 and Jordan. So well played to all those three guys, well played to everyone all season. It's been absolutely fantastic to commentate on and to take part in. We hope to see the GT300s back as soon as possible. Team Rosso Racing will be there if that happens, of course. But I'll see you very, very soon, hopefully, for the Cappuccino League, which is being run tomorrow. So I'll get those up as soon as I can in the week. I've been Dave Higgins. Thank you very much for watching. You've been great. And I'll see you all soon.